Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching 6 Stories at 6. I'm Gesu Bharat. On this show, we get you the 6 biggest stories of the day, the newsmakers, the agenda setters and the headline grabbers. On this edition, we will first look at the massive fire that broke out in Mahakumbh. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister has reached the spot as fire has been brought under control. We get you the details on the Bangladeshi national who attacked actor Saif Ali Khan. What is our way ahead to deal with infiltration? We also dive into the arrest of 3 people involved in trafficking innocent Indians to the Russian battlegrounds. As the race for national capital gains pace, Chief Minister Atishi alleges the BJP of attempting to kill Aam Aadmi Party convener. Also on the show, Israel-Hamas have finally reached a ceasefire agreement, or have they? As Trump 2.0 is set to take over the White House, the incoming president's agendas are more ambitious than ever. We'll take a look and a lot more. First, a quick check at the first story. Massive fires engulfed tents at the Mahakumbh Mela in Prayagraj just moments from now. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has taken a stock of the situation on ground. While at least 12 to 15 firefighter trucks arrived at the location, no injuries or casualties have been reported. Take a look at these visuals from the fire that engulfed Mahakumbh's Sector 19.
एनडीआरएफ के दस्ते थे और अग्निशमन दस्ते थे, उन्होंने आपस में मिलके बहुत अच्छा काम किया और आग को बहुत ही कम से कम समय में अपनी कार्रवाई करके आग पर काबू पाया। हमारे जो दस्ते थे उन्होंने रास्ता बनाया, जहां पर आपने देखा टीन की जो शीट्स थी उनको काटा, उनको हटाया, क्योंकि हमारे पास इस तरीके के इक्विपमेंट्स वगैरह होते हैं कि रास्ते में कहीं ऐसे लकड़ी है, कोई बल्ली है, पिलाई है, तो उसको तुरंत काट कर रास्ता बनाया जिससे कि जो गाड़ियां हैं वो तुरंत अपनी पानी की बौछार या जो उनके पास अन्य सामग्री है वो जल्दी से जल्दी वहां पहुंचाकर अपनी कार्रवाई कर सकें। तो यही हमारी टीमों ने मिलकर आपस में काम किया।
गीता प्रेस के टेंट्स पे कुछ पे आग लगी है, अखाड़े में आग नहीं लगी है और कोई जनहानि इसमें नहीं हुई है। देयर इज नो लॉस ऑफ लाइफ और हमारी रेस्क्यू टीम्स जो हैं वो लगी हुई है। कितनी आग है, कहाँ पे लगी है, ये सारी चीज़ अभी पता कराई जा रही है, सर्वे इसका कराया जा रहा है कितने टेंट्स में लगी है। लेकिन मैं आप लोगों को ये बता रहा हूँ कि पैनिक कोई ना करे, सही चीज़ लोगों में प्रसारित हो। इसमें कोई जनहानि रिपोर्टेड नहीं है और आग कंट्रोल में है। हम लोगों के यूपी पुलिस के करीब 12 से 15 जो फायर ब्रिगेड थी वो मौके पे पहुंची और उन्होंने आग पे काबू पा लिया है और अभी तक कोई जनहानि रिपोर्टेड नहीं है। टेंट्स जले हैं, कुछ सामान जला है, वो हम आपको सर्वे करके बता देंगे।
आज 4:30 बजे कुंभ क्षेत्र में सेक्टर 19 में आग लगने की जानकारी मिली, जिसमें गीता प्रेस में आग लगने की सूचना हम सबको मिली। अग्निशमन की टीम, पुलिस की टीम, प्रशासन की टीम और साथ समय मौके पे पहुंची और गीता प्रेस के साथ में 10 प्रयागवाल के टेंट में भी आग फैलने की सूचना मिली थी, जिसको उस समय बुझा लिया गया। स्थिति सामान्य है, कहीं किसी प्रकार की जनहानि की कोई सूचना नहीं है।
And like always, Republic has again reached ground zero. I'm being joined by my colleague Meenakshi to get us more on the updates around the fire. Meenakshi, tell us more about this. In fact, in recent, we've also gotten to know that Prime Minister Modi has spoken to UP's Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. Meenakshi, tell us more.
बिल्कुल, देखिए, रिपब्लिक भारत सबसे पहला चैनल था जो पहुंचा हुआ था पर आग लगी हुई। मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ उन्होंने यहाँ पर आकर के जायजा भी लिया। तस्वीरें कुछ मैं आपको दिखा देती हूँ क्योंकि अब अंधेरा हो गया है और
I think we may have lost connection with our reporter for the moment.
टीम ने यहाँ तुरंत कंट्रोल किया है। लोगों लोग यहाँ पर फंसे हुए थे, उन्हें तुरंत यहाँ से बाहर निकाला गया था ताकि किसी भी तरीके का जो जान माल का नुकसान हो वो ना हो सके। हालांकि यहाँ पर गीता प्रेस गोरखपुर का जो टेंट है बताया जा रहा है वो था निर्मल निर्मल एक कैंप था, निर्मल बाबा का वो कैंप था, वो भी जल चुका था। यहाँ जो लोग थे वो पूरी तरीके से यहाँ से बाहर सबसे पहले निकाले जाते हैं। उन्हें बाहर निकालने के बाद आग बुझाने का काम तेजी से किया जाता है। लगभग 10 से 20 मिनट का वो वक्त था जब आग यहाँ पर फैल जाती है और पूरी जगह को अपने जद में ले लेती है। लेकिन 20 मिनट के भीतर ही अग्निशमन विभाग की जो लगभग 15 से 20 टीमें थी वो पहुंची, SDRF, NDRF, हर कोई यहाँ पर मौजूद था। आग को तुरंत से काबू किया गया ताकि किसी भी तरीके से कोई भी जनहानि ना हो। जो सिलेंडर थे उस सिलेंडर्स को तुरंत से बाहर निकाला जाता है। बाहर फेंकने के बाद जो कंबल, जो लोग आसपास थे उनके पास जो कंबल थे उसे भिगो करके उन सिलेंडर्स पर लपेटा जाता है ताकि जो सिलेंडर है वो और ब्लास्ट ना हो। कुछ लोग यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं, हम उनसे भी बात करेंगे। आप थे जब यहाँ पर आग लगी?
हम लोग तो दूर हैं यहाँ से।
आप राइट मीनाक्षी,
बगल में थे, आग लगी बड़ी तेज। जब बहुत तेज आग लगी तो हम लोग देखे कि आग लगा, दौड़ के फायर ब्रिगेड बुलाए।
राइट मीनाक्षी,
फायर ब्रिगेड बुलाए तो फायर ब्रिगेड में पानी ही नहीं।
हाँ।
आके खड़ी हुई, फिर बाद में
उसके बाद और टीमें आई।
हाँ, और टीमें
तुरंत आग बुझाने में ज्यादा वक्त लगा,
बहुत समय लगा वहाँ।
राइट,
काफी फास्ट बुझी है, पूरी दमकल की टीमें आई हैं, काम बढ़िया हुआ है।
Meenakshi, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast. We'll keep tracking the story, but for now, the second story that we're tracking at this hour. Shariful Islam Shehzad, a Bangladeshi national who had illegally entered India and had been living under the false name Bijoy Das, has been arrested for allegedly breaking into actor Saif Ali Khan's home and also attacking him and his staff during a burglary attempt. Parallelly, following local intelligence inputs, the police zeroed in on a rented accommodation at Kolivara in Worli, where the accused lived with 3 others. Take a look at this.
पहले दिन से हम कह रहे हैं कि देश में अवैध बांग्लादेशी, अवैध रोहिंग्या देश की सुरक्षा के लिए और दिल्ली की सुरक्षा के लिए खतरा है। अब जिन बांग्लादेशियों को पालने का काम अरविंद केजरीवाल करते हैं, कि सैफ अली खां पे हमला करने वाला जो पकड़ा गया है उससे किस किस के तार जुड़े हैं, अरविंद केजरीवाल खुलासा करें।
ये चिंता की बात तो है कि बहुत सारे बांग्लादेशी बंगाल की सरकार के द्वारा घुसेड़े जा रहे हैं भारत की सीमा के अंदर, और हिंदू नाम से उनका आधार कार्ड बना रहे हैं और यहाँ आकर वो लोग क्राइम कर रहे हैं।
Joining us live on the broadcast right outside the Leelavati Hospital is my colleague Akhil. Akhil, a big reveal on the infiltration racket in Mumbai. Actor Saif Ali Khan was stabbed. What is the next thing that the police or the administration is looking at? Tell us more about this, Akhil.
Well, Geshu, if you see at this point in time, the Mumbai police has successfully arrested the main accused, and he was earlier sent at different locations, not only in the Mumbai but in Mumbai suburb regions also. So he was arrested from Thane. So at this point in time, when he was taken after the medical examination was done, he was taken to the Bandra court, where the court has granted 5 days of police custody. So after 5 days, he will again be produced in the court. So during this time, the Mumbai police team will basically do the complete investigation that what was his actual motive. So preliminarily, if you see, while speaking to the media, DCP of Zone 9, Dikshit Gedam, has said that it seems that he has a mindset of doing that robbery and performing that burglary incident. But they have not ruled out so far that there could be another part to it also. Because if you see the way he entered inside the very apartment of Saif Ali Khan, I would like to request my Vijay to pan and show you the visual at this point in time of the very residence of Saif Ali Khan, which is Sadhguru Shan. Here you can see at this point in time, here you can see, I would like to request my Vijay to zoom in and show you the visual.
Right, Akhil, we will continue tracking this story, but for now I think we've lost connection with my reporter. For now, the third story that we're tracking at this hour. At least 3 people were arrested in connection with the death of a man from Kerala, Binil Babu, who had joined the military support service in Russia after being falsely pulled into Russia over a job call. The accused have been charged under the Immigration Act, human trafficking and also cheating. Take a look at this.
After the Ministry of External Affairs confirmed the death of a Malayali man, Binil Babu, on the front lines of Ukraine-Russia war.
It was a very unfortunate death. We conveyed condolences to the family. Our embassy is in touch with Russian authorities so that his mortal remains could come back to India as soon as possible. Regarding the other gentleman who was injured, he is receiving treatment in a hospital in Moscow. Our embassy is in touch with him and also his in him in regard to his welfare and well-being with the Russian authorities, and hopefully he will also be returning India soon after his treatment is completed.
3 individuals have been arrested from Thrissur in an India-Russia human trafficking nexus. Sandeep Thomas, Sumesh Antony and CB, all natives of Thrissur, were arrested for allegedly recruiting youths to Russia with promises of high-paying jobs, but instead trafficked them into military service. The accused have been charged under the Immigration Act, human trafficking and cheating. The arrests followed a complaint filed by Binal's wife and Jan TK's father, Korean. Binal and Jan travelled to Russia with the hope of working as electricians and plumbers. However, upon arrival, their Indian passports were confiscated and they were subsequently deployed to the war zones as part of the Russian military support service. Binal lost his life despite several appeals to consulate, while Jan is undergoing medical treatment in Moscow after getting injured in the war. What remains of Binal are now his mortal remains that his family has been requesting and begging the MEA to bring back. The question remains that why did the MEA not react timely on Binal Babu's multiple appeal to repatriate him? Binal Babu is just one of the victims of the rackets luring job aspirants with fake promises. As a deep nexus is uncovered, the exact number of individuals involved in this racket is yet to be determined.
As the race to grab power in Delhi heats up, Chief Minister Atishi has made big claims against the BJP, alleging that the party tried to kill Aam Aadmi Party convener Arvind Kejriwal. Listen in to the hot take from Aam Aadmi Party, and we're also, in fact, being joined by Pradeep Pillai for more on the story.
Yes, we have been discussing from the afternoon the job racket that has been operating out of Kerala to the Russians. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Sir, could you tell us more about what is this human trafficking angle that is being busted in Kerala, and what is the next step that the authorities are eyeing over this?
Well, as Republic has been reporting, 3 people have been picked up from Thrissur and Kochi. Sandeep, Sumesh and Sibi Saif. Now, this person who got killed, Binal Babu, hails from Thrissur, and he was working in Oman as an electrician. He was offered a job in Russia. He and his cousin, Sandeep Jain, who traveled with him to Russia, but they ended up in Ukraine fighting somebody else's war for the Russian mercenaries private army group. Now, what this tragedy exposes is a huge nexus, a huge racket which is involved in human trafficking, offering youths lucrative jobs abroad, but ending up in war zones and hostile situations. Now, we know that this is not the first time that this is happening in Kerala or India. Such job rackets have been operational for decades together. We've also seen the same happening in the Iraq war, where people were recruited either directly or indirectly from the Gulf nations, most frequently from Dubai. Now, in this case, these 2 cousins were recruited from Oman and taken to Russia, offering them either a job as an electrician, or one of them hoped it was a job in a canteen, but with very lucrative offers. We also know that this is not the first time tragedy is hitting through the same modus operandi. Sandeep Chandran, once again hailing from Thrissur, had lost his life last year. Now, Binal Babu's family has been pleading with the local authorities, with the state government and the government of India to somehow bring him back once they got to know the kind of trap that he has been lured into. Now, we also know that the crisis, the exploitation happens while exploiting the jobless nature or the lack of good jobs for the educated youth. Now, this has happened before. This has been happening wherein lucrative offers were made, but the men and women ended up doing jobs that they were not intended to do. Now, once they land up in the Gulf nations or in the destination that is intended, what they do is they pick up their passport and travel documents, and then they become literal hostages in the hands of their handlers. Now, this has been repeating, this has been recurring. It's not as if it's new, it's not as if the authorities do not know. We have been seeing the same thing happening with dubious travel agents and agencies operating in the greed of money. Now, very clearly, this is not something that has happened overnight. The same situation has happened. A similar incident has happened. A person from Truce has died in Russia fighting against somebody else's war, being held literally hostage. Yeah.
Right. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast and speaking to Republic, Pradeep. But for now, viewers, it's time to move on. As the race to grab power in Delhi heats up, Chief Minister Atishi has made fresh claims, saying that the BJP tried to kill Aam Aadmi Party convener Arvind Kejriwal. The shocking statement was hit out by the Chief Minister. This comes as AAP is trying its best to gain a third consecutive term in the capital, while the BJP is taking all efforts to turn the tables. Take a look at this.
The Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP came out throwing punches at each other a day after the alleged attack on Arvind Kejriwal. Addressing a press conference earlier today, Delhi Chief Minister Atishi claimed that the BJP sent goons to kill the AAP national convener going into the Delhi Assembly polls.
हमला हुआ, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के गुंडों द्वारा हमला हुआ। सबने वीडियो देखा और इतने बड़े पत्थर से उनकी गाड़ी को मारा गया कि अगर वो किसी को लग जाता तो वो जानलेवा हो सकता।
Not stopping at this, Atishi, who is seeking a fresh term from the prestigious Kalkaji Assembly segment, said the goons who attacked Kejriwal's car were no ordinary BJP supporters but wanted in murder cases.
ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सधे हुए गुंडे, सधे हुए क्रिमिनल्स हैं और अगर ऐसे लोगों को अरविंद केजरीवाल जी पे हमला करने के लिए भेजा गया जिन पर डकैती और मर्डर और कल्पेबल होमिसाइड के चार्जेस हैं, तो ये बिल्कुल साफ है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी चुनाव की अपनी हार की बौखलाहट से अब अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की जान लेने तक उतर आई है।
Dismissing the AAP charge, veteran BJP leader R.P. Singh accused Kejriwal of faking an attack on himself in a desperate ploy to evoke sympathy from voters.
उस वीडियो में ये भी दिखता है कि ड्राइवर ने पहले ब्रेक लगाई, फिर किसी ने कहा उसको कि आप गाड़ी चलाओ। उस गाड़ी में अरविंद केजरीवाल बैठे थे और दो लोगों पर, दो भाजपा के कार्यकर्ताओं पर गाड़ी चढ़ गई। अभी दिखता है कि सत्ता दिमाग में चढ़ गई है और उसके चलते हुए अब दिल्ली के युवकों को भी रोंदा जा रहा है। अपेक्षा करते हैं पुलिस पूरी जांच करेगी। मुझे जानकारी मिली कि उनको हॉस्पिटल में दाखिल किया गया है। पुलिस पूरी जांच करेगी, उनकी एमएलसी कराएगी और जो भी लोग दोषी हैं उनको सजा मिलेगी, उनको सजा मिलनी चाहिए।
Meanwhile, countering the AAP charge, Parvesh Verma, Kejriwal's BJP rival from the New Delhi seat, claimed that his car rammed 3 jobless youth who wanted to meet him.
सीएम की गाड़ी, जो यहाँ के आरोपी हैं पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री, उनकी खुद की गाड़ी ने तीनों को टक्कर मारी जिस गाड़ी में अरविंद केजरीवाल खुद बैठा था। और तीनों लड़कों ने एक ही स्टेटमेंट दी है कि जब वो ड्राइवर ने देखा कि हम उनकी गाड़ी के आगे हैं तो ड्राइवर ने ब्रेक मार दिया था, मगर उसके बाद अरविंद केजरीवाल ने इशारा किया कि गाड़ी चढ़ा दो। उसके इशारा करने के बाद में ड्राइवर ने गाड़ी को आगे चढ़ाया और तीनों को पैर में चोट लगी।
Citing a statement by one of the injured youth in hospital, Verma said the youth merely wanted to speak to Kejriwal, but he motioned his driver to drive on. He said Kejriwal's driver slammed the brake after the youth approached his vehicle, but the former chief minister asked his driver to keep moving.
पहले ड्राइवर ने ब्रेक मारा था, लेकिन जब हम तीनों खड़े हुए थे ना, फिर ड्राइवर को वहाँ से इशारा दिया गया। जब ड्राइवर ने हमारे ऊपर दोबारा रेस देके गाड़ी चलाई हमारा, तब जाके रोहित भाई हम तीनों। नहीं सर, हमने कुछ भी नहीं करा। मैं गया था वहाँ पर, रोहित भाई थे, हम अपना आंचल लेने गए थे, मेरे को नौकरी की बात करनी थी, तो इतने में उन्होंने बातचीत कुछ नहीं करी, हमने गाड़ी रोक की थी, इतने में उसको ड्राइवर ने गाड़ी चुपका दी।
Meanwhile, one of the injured youth claimed they were hit deliberately. Even as the battle for Delhi gets ugly and charges fly thick and fast from the two warring camps, the big question is, will the AAP's latest attack claim on Kejriwal wash with voters?
In a major stumbling block to the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said the deal will not proceed as planned till the Palestinian terrorist outfit releases the names of the 33 Jewish hostages to be released. Outgoing US President Joe Biden announced the ceasefire deal last week after over a year of hostilities and bloodbath in Gaza. We're also being joined by Ariela Rosenthal Ashod, who is the head of international relations of Ashod municipality in Israel. Thank you very much for joining us on broadcast and speaking to Republic. Can you please also tell us more about how far has the deal reached? We know that the ceasefire is underway, but how far has it reached and how much can it be deterred by Benjamin Netanyahu's demands of seeking the names of the 33 hostages? What can be expected today out of the meeting? Please tell us.
Well, first of all, the framework that has been reached comes from with a very, very high price. But the state of Israel has a moral obligation to everything and to everyone, and it has to return all of the hostages, living or deceased, to Israel. The government, of course, will not give up the goals of the war until they are all met. That means, of course, the return of all the 97 hostages, removing the Hamas terrorist regime from Gaza, and of course, eliminating the threat to the citizens of the state of Israel. Until yesterday, at 4:30 in the afternoon, according to the Truce, which was originally signed on, the Hamas, which is, as you all know, a terrorist organization, was supposed to convey the first names of the hostages that should be released this morning with the opening of the ceasefire. However, they only reached at approximately 11 in the morning. That means a delay of approximately 24 hours. So, you know, we are not dealing here with a country, with a country, but with a terrorist organization, the same organization that actually launched the war on Gaza following the 7th of October, the murderous terrorist attack in which there were horrific crimes against humanity, in which they raped, murdered, and more French thousands.
Thanks for joining us on the broadcast, ma'am. We will track the story. We're grateful that you took out time to speak to Republic. Now, viewers, US President-elect Donald Trump arrived in Washington, D.C. ahead of his inauguration on Monday. Visuals picked out a Trump arriving as supporters before the boarding of the Air Force One in Florida, along with First Lady Melania Trump ahead of his inauguration, which has been shifted indoors for the first time since 1985. Trump is all scheduled to make America great again with his mega victory rally, while also attending several galas to celebrate his resounding coming back as a win. Here is a detailed report on that.
Fireworks lit up the skies across the United States ahead of the much-awaited inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump. Trump, who is to take oath as the 47th United States President, landed in Washington, D.C. along with incoming First Lady Melania Trump. Visuals picked up the real estate tycoon turned politician waving at cheering supporters before boarding the Air Force One along with Melania. In a big scoop ahead of Trump's inauguration, a report claimed that he is likely to sign 100 executive orders on day one, which will be a record in the United States presidential history. Significantly, Trump's inauguration has been shifted indoors for the first time in 40 years since 1985. Even the traditional parade down Pennsylvania Avenue has been changed to an indoor event owing to the biting cold weather. He's also scheduled to hold a MAGA or Make America Great Again victory rally with his supporters inside the Capitol One arena on the eve of his inauguration. Continuing the tradition of past president-elects, Trump will attend service at the St. John's Episcopal Church. Trump will address his supporters again before heading to White House for the signing ceremony. Tech moguls Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg feature in the guest list for Trump's inauguration. As Trump returns to the Oval Office, it remains to be seen if he unveils his tariff plan on his first day in office.
As we come to an end of this news wheel, let's record and summarize with Note Assist using Galaxy AI on Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. Delhi Chief Minister Atishi accused the BJP of trying to kill Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal. Her statement came amid AAP leaders alleging that stones were pelted at Kejriwal's car on Saturday. The AAP earlier shared a video of the perpetrated attack that alleged that attacker was sent by the BJP candidate Parvesh Verma, who attacked Arvind Kejriwal with bricks and stones and tried to hurt him so that he could not do his campaign. Hitting back at the Aam Aadmi Party, the BJP said the youth belongs to New Delhi constituency and was protesting against Kejriwal. There you have it, the precise reading of the news in a simpler format using Galaxy AI on Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. We will be back with the headlines in a few minutes.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
If the president-elect does choose to move forward on tariffs, Canada will, of course, respond. With the incoming American administration floating the possibility of tariffs on Canada, our highly integrated North American auto industry is under threat. It's not just these tariffs will hurt the Canadian industry, these tariffs will hurt the North American industry and endanger jobs in the United States as well. We want to avoid job losses in Canada and the United States, but we also want to avoid extra costs on consumers in Canada and the United States. And that's what we're going to be pushing to try to avoid as an outcome. The Canada-US trading relationship is the envy of the world, and we believe that the best path forward is for Canadians and Americans to continue to work together to strengthen it. If the president-elect does choose to move forward on tariffs, Canada will, of course, respond. And I want to hear from all of you about some of the concerns and some of the issues that you have in terms of thoughts and perspectives on how we can demonstrate that instead of picking fights with each other, we should be working together to even better compete with challenges to supply chains around the world, to rising players in the industry that are making different decisions. And
customer is looking more at body styling of cars which are more SUV and crossover driven than what was the case in the past.
But next 10 years are ours. So the market is going to grow exponentially and it will explode.
Hello ladies and gentlemen. What a fantastic couple of days Republic Business and Republic Auto have had at the Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025, which is being held over 3 locations in NCR as we speak. What's been put together this year, from the exhibits to the aspirations to the footfall, has been mind-blowing. The mega event is likely to see a footfall of 5 lakh people over 5 days at a time that India is gunning to become the world's largest auto industry in the next 5 years. The buzz has been clubbed with a touchdown of 12.5% growth of the auto industry in India. The excitement on ground was met with splendid advancement across all different players. We've had a wonderful few days at the Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025, and I'm here to get the big highlights and takeaways. The Bharat Mobility Global Expo was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi with a very inspirational opening address. The second edition of the Expo is witnessing over 100 launches of automobiles, and the Prime Minister's address hit the nail on the head when he said that India's auto sector reflects the aspirations of its people. Here's a clip from the Honorable Prime Minister's address at Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025.
साथियों, आज का भारत एस्पिरेशन से भरा हुआ है, युवा ऊर्जा से भरा हुआ है। यही एस्पिरेशंस हमें भारत की ऑटोमोटिव इंडस्ट्री में दिखाई देती हैं। बीते साल में भारत की ऑटो इंडस्ट्री करीब 12% की ग्रोथ से आगे बढ़ी है। मेक इन इंडिया, मेक फॉर द वर्ल्ड के मंत्र पर चलते हुए अब एक्सपोर्ट भी बढ़ रहा है। इतनी तो दुनिया के कई देशों की पॉपुलेशन नहीं है जितनी हर साल भारत में गाड़ियां बिक रही हैं। बीते कुछ सालों से इलेक्ट्रिक मोबिलिटी को लेकर भारत में बहुत तेज ग्रोथ देखी जा रही है। बीते दशक में इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल की बिक्री में 640 गुना की वृद्धि हुई है। 640 गुना। 10 साल पहले जहां एक साल में सिर्फ 2600 के आसपास इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल बिके थे, वर्ष 2024 में 16,80,000 से ज्यादा व्हीकल बिके हैं। यानी 10 साल पहले जितने इलेक्ट्रिकल व्हीकल पूरे साल में बिकते थे, आज उससे भी 2 गुने इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल सिर्फ एक दिन में बिक रहे हैं। अनुमान है कि इस दशक के अंत तक भारत में इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स की संख्या 8 गुना तक बढ़ सकती है। ये दिखाता है कि इस सेगमेंट में आपके लिए कितनी ज्यादा संभावनाएं बढ़ रही है। साथियों, देश में इलेक्ट्रिक मोबिलिटी के विस्तार के लिए सरकार लगातार पॉलिसी डिसीजंस ले रही है, इंडस्ट्री को सपोर्ट कर रही है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi kicked off India's largest auto event, which is hosting some of the world's biggest automakers at 3 different locations across the national capital region. Leading India's hybrid push from the front is Japanese car maker Toyota. Republic spoke to Vikram Gulati, country head and executive vice president, corporate affairs and governance at Toyota.
The policies have been very progressive. Government has made huge investments in terms of incentivizing the production through the PLI scheme. They've made huge, impact in terms of demand creation through the FAME scheme, which just culminated, and the e-drive scheme now. There's been a very large number of purchase by the government of electric buses. Now, the government is putting in a lot of efforts in terms of creating the charging infrastructure, which is required for this ecosystem to take off. So I'd say the government approach has been very holistic, very encouraging. Toyota's all about looking at sustainability as our future. I mean, our logo is Happier Paths Together. The reason why we're saying that is what you see here is the multiple technology pathway. We believe going ahead, all of these green technologies, whether it is battery electric vehicle or plug-in hybrid or hydrogen or a strong hybrid or a flex fuel plug-in hybrid, all of these technologies are going to be needed because the growth of the market is so huge and current penetration of EVs and hybrids is quite in the nascent phase. So our showcasing here is that Toyota has all the green technologies. It has these technologies so that the unique requirements of consumers and different contexts in different countries can be fully addressed.
Republic Auto had a chance to catch up with Tanmay Bhattacharya, EVP Lexus Sales and Marketing. With its dazzling LFZC concept and ROV, Lexus has been stealing the show at the Expo.
Initially we told it will be 100% EV, but now we realize that as a core philosophy of us, we believe in Toyota production system, as I was talking to you earlier as well. And in Toyota production system, it is a demand-driven production. Means we don't manufacture the car which we want. We manufacture car which customer wants. So in India is a big economy and it is going to be a very big economy in near future. We are talking about 3 trillion crossing to $5 trillion economy. There are multiple customers with a varied need. So keeping that philosophy in mind, we are now talking about a multi-pathway approach led by electrification. That means we will definitely have electric car where single source of power will be the battery. Side by side, we will have multiple other options available for the customer. Like we will be having hybrid, we will be having hydrogen as an alternative fuel, we will be having like fuel cell vehicle, hydrogen, we will be having other ICs model also so that customer can choose and we will offer what they need, not offer what we can produce. The entire automobile industry is going through a complete change. We call it change in a millennium. When that horse cart has changed to automobile fast, that kind of change is happening. Many new technologies are coming, research are going on, a faster adoption of alternative source of energy for the car is happening. Whether it will 100% transform into EV or not, I don't know. But definitely there will be future with multiple newer technology. EV will be one of the major among them, that much I can say. I believe, although I do not have or Lexus doesn't have any immediate EV to offer, but every technological shift, we need to give some time. I think government doing a massive work on that, and that's why you can see the numbers are going up, people are adopting EVs, infrastructure is taking space. But a little patience we all should have to allow this technology to settle down. Things will improve. Things have improved over a time. The things which 3 years, 4 years back, now things have drastically changed, improved much. So I believe we need to be a little patient and give all the authorities that time to settle down everything.
The Bharat Mobility Global Expo saw a great emphasis on EVs. Now, EVs have witnessed a staggering growth in India, despite which Maruti Suzuki made a rather late entry in India's EV market. We caught up with Partho Banerjee, Head of Marketing and Sales, Maruti Suzuki, to know exactly why.
It's a pure EV-born platform product which we have launched, and we are committed to the Indian customers that in the next 5 years we will come in with another 5 models. When we start selling this product, we will surely send it for that testing and we will let you know what the ratings are.
Yash.
It has got the 7 airbags, it has got ADAS, so whatever safety features anyone is offering it, we are offering a 1 notch higher actually.
The Expo's horizon was way beyond EVs, and Republic Auto, in a conversation with Jatin Ahuja, founder and MD Big Boy Toys, got a glimpse of the growing demand for pre-owned luxury cars in India.
So what we are doing as far as our industry goes over the last, I would say 5 years, this is the best I have seen in my 21 years of my career. And आने वाले 10 साल सिर्फ हमारे हैं. We are going to do a lot of numbers, and if the pace remains same, we are going to be the best as far as the world goes. I think we are 6th or 7th largest in the world. We'll be definitely doing much better now, yeah. लास्ट ईवी में 3-4 साल में जो ग्रोथ हुई है वो बहुत बहुत अच्छी हुई है और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर आई वुड नॉट से स्लोली एंड ग्रेजुअली बहुत फास्ट पेस पे कोप अप कर रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्स वी आर अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल सो इटली ऑफ कोर्स द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ऑफ कोर्स इज नीड whatever is needed is quite a lot, so it takes time, but yeah, definitely pace is good and very happy with the way our country is progressing as far as the EV infrastructure is concerned. So earlier, when it comes to the EV industry, the biggest issue was the range. So the range was not as what people desired. Now the range is improving, and the resale values of these EV products is improving. So I think with the resale values going up and acceptability being there, I think this is the right time for EV. See, customer is more aware now, and wherever he sees a value in a transaction, he's going ahead. So that stigma which used to be there in a pre-owned or a pre-loved car is not there anymore. So I think great improvement and opening up of minds of people, yeah, to go ahead with whatever makes more value sense. Basically, it's a more value proposition, and whatever makes more value or more sense, people are going ahead with that.
Apart from car launches and EV fervor, the Expo featured one of India's prominent brands, DC Cars, known for luxury automotive customization, founded by Dilip Chhabria. Republic Auto spoke to Chhabria, who talked about the potential growth of luxury automotive segment.
Now we are the third largest producer of vehicles. That's a big achievement, and going forward, we will become the second largest producer of vehicles in the next 10 years, I presume. The biggest change is that first, we as Indian customers were getting vehicles which are 10 years old, discarded by the West or discontinued by the West. Today we are getting current. What is launched in the West, we are getting it here. I foresee in the next 2-3 years, much like iPhones, you will first get it in India, and then you'll get it in the West. So that's a big sea change. I think beyond that, this government's emphasis on creating a vibrant automotive scene is really helpful, because and being electric, the entry barrier has come down. So therefore, not many entrepreneurs can become automakers. So that's a huge change because of the government's taxation policy. It's very, very favorable to electric cars. So because of the the electric power plant costing is now at par with the ICE engines, and going forward in the next 1 or 2 years, I believe they will be cheaper than the ICE engines. So that's a fantastic boon. Beyond that, the government's taxation policy is so favorable to electric vehicles, because the government is interested in reducing the dependence on fossil fuels, and the taxation is 1/10 of the ICE engines. So with these two in mind, as the charging infrastructure improves, the electric vehicles in the next 5 to 10 years will be 40-50% of the vehicle configuration. So that's a huge growth. Charging stations and chargers will keep on evolving. There are a lot of companies who have really set in motion that business plan. Much like in America, where the interstate highways are built because of the pressure on automobiles on the road, because the production became so much. So governments had to act. Here also, I think, is the same situation. The customer will force the charging stations. The government will force the manufacturers to increase their production rate. On the second question of yours, the electric SUV that we have launched here, which is going to see the roads in the next 12 to 18 months. It's full electric, 650 horsepower, 110 kilowatt battery, and 0 to 100 in 4 seconds. It's an extreme SUV, as you can see from the visuals.
Spreading its wings further, German automotive major Skoda made its presence felt with the launch of the new Superb. Republic Auto caught up with Piyush Arora, MD, Volkswagen Group Sales India, on customer trends and Skoda VW collaboration.
The industry has little bit moderated the growth But the areas which are very clearly coming out, which are growing, is in terms of customer perception. Customer is looking more at body styling of cars which are more SUV and crossover driven than what was the case in the past, which was more hatchback and notchback driven. Apart from that, there is a premiumization expectation from the customer. So customer is looking at adding more value into their cars, including high tech, including advanced features which are globally available, are what customers are expecting and requiring from their product. I do see, apart from that, also driven by the environmental concerns, there is definitely for fuel efficiency as well as for alternate powertrains like electric vehicles are gaining customer preferences at this point in time. Of the almost 2.5 decades of different organizations and different brands which are present, we have always focused, apart from innovation and bringing in new technologies into the Indian market, we have always focused on partnership with our partners downstream and upstream, building our people in the organization. So if you see today, we have a very high network of almost 500 touch points across India across our 5 brands, and these are our partners who help us in the retail network to sell our products. But at the same time, we have more than 150 supplier partners who are also helping us to develop products in India, to be able to make them competitive in India, but also give us opportunity for exporting those cars out of India. In the space of product development, we have also established a lot of engineering partners in the country, which has helped us to evolve and locally develop cars which we can then successfully sell not only in India but also globally. Volkswagen Group, for addressing the climate change, has very clearly laid down its strategy in terms of electrification. So we are focusing on electrification of our fleet globally. Our product portfolio, almost 8 to 9% of 9 million cars which we sell globally across our brands are electric vehicle. And we want to also, we also believe that the same trend will evolve even in India. And we are going to take Indian approach step by step. So we already started bringing our global product as fully built up units. So as in the motor show you would have seen, Porsche is launching 2 new electric vehicles, the electric Macan as well as the new electric Taycan. Apart from that, Audi already has brought in the e-tron range of cars into the country, which are successfully selling in the country. But at the same time, we are also looking at opportunities of bringing other brands through this route. Once we have seen which product is more attractive for the Indian market, we would look at the opportunity of locally assembling them. But at the same time, we will also look at, by turn of the decade, that we have a fully developed Indian vehicle which we can then sell in the premium volume segment in the country.
IPO-bound Greaves Electric Mobility Limited is all excited about its D Street debut. On the sidelines of the Expo, K. Vijayakumar, ED and CEO of Greaves Electric Mobility, gave us a glimpse of the company's glittering new EV motorcycle.
Motorcycle is something which a consumer rides. He doesn't sit on it, he rides a motorcycle. Scooter is something which he sits on it, right? So that's the first thing. Motorcycle is in the head. So it's a very passionate purchase. He sees personality in the motorcycle he buys. Second is it's used for relatively larger distances. People with an average would like to do a 130, 120, 150 kilometer. Upward of that, closer to 200. The third is the power and the initial pickup required is very different. Now to house all of that into a battery and to get it into a viable proposition to compete with an ICE vehicle is a challenge which I think the industry is grappling with. And it has reached certain, couple of products which has been recently launched. So that's the journey which is traveling. And it will need substantial investments in R&D, technology, product for it to reach where it is. So I think that's the journey. And I see the industry catching up in the next 2-3 years on that. Commendable job by Government of India in terms of the road infrastructure. The ministry and the government, they're working. The kilometers which we are building a day, I think is exceptional work. So I don't think industry has any complaints on the roads and the way that whole infrastructure is getting. Now on the so outside the road, on the infrastructure, there are 2 major I would say subjects to be handled. One is charging, because battery is limited and consumer needs a particular range to travel a particular distance. Now this can happen at two levels. Either it has to be a swap solution or it has to be fast charging. Now it depends on use cases and it depends on the initial investment which you're putting in. Different manufacturers have different roadmaps to it. We are more towards fast charging. Means a consumer today buys a battery, and if he is able to get a 30 minutes, 15 minutes or 45 minutes fast charge, and that tops up the battery by beyond 60-70%, I think that serves the purpose till he reaches evening in a different place where he can charge. So that's the second piece of it. The third piece of it is after sale service. So the whole EV ecosystem has to reach the same level as much that of an ICE engines. The only problem is they took 40 years or 4 decades to get where they are. We need to do it in maybe half a decade. So that penetration of availability of spare parts, availability of service, and building that capability and talent across India for servicing these vehicles is the challenge. And that's what I think the government, industry, and all the bodies are working towards it. So we're very confident we should be able to get there in the next, I would say, 3 to 5 years.
If you want to catch up with all the electrifying action live at Bharat Mandapam, the Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025 is open till January 22. For more exciting auto updates, stay tuned to Republic Auto and Republic Business.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university in the recently released Education World Rankings. A testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked standards in education.
We have a commitment for our brothers. We have a commitment for our sisters. We done our utmost and we brought home the majority of the hostages. But 98 of them are still there.
आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो विजन दिया है महाकुंभ के लिए, उसको स्थानीय स्तर पर लागू करने के लिए सभी लोग पूरी प्रतिबद्धता के साथ कार्य कर रहे हैं। और मैं आपको इस बात के लिए धन्यवाद दूंगा कि प्रयागराज की छवि को एक पॉजिटिव तरीके से महाकुंभ के बहाने आप लोगों ने प्रस्तुत करने का कार्य किया और उसको लगातार आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं।
उस दिन सनसेट देखने छज्जे पे चढ़ा, टूट गया।
हाँ, तो किसने बोला घर की दीवार पे रॉक क्लाइंबिंग करने को?
सफीना बदतमीजी।
समझ गया। मेरे पास आप दोनों की प्रॉब्लम की मेडिसिन है। इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
I'll summarize it. We'll use 3 or 4 points of the article on Republic World.
Hyundai kicks off the new year with Creta Electric. With driving range up to 473 kilometers per full charge. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 7.9 seconds. Fast DC charging in just 58 minutes. And an 8-year battery warranty. Electric is now Creta.
एक राज्य जम्मू कश्मीर, उसके बारे में जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी ने कहा ये मेरे ऊपर छोड़ दो, ये मेरा स्टेट है। और वो स्टेट ऐसा बना कि धारा 370 बन गया। अंबेडकर जी उस समय लॉ मिनिस्टर थे। उन्होंने कहा कि तुम चाहते हो कि भारत माता तुम्हारे लिए सड़कें बनाए, तुमको भोजन प्रदान करे, तुम्हारी सुख सुविधा बनाए, और तुम भारत सरकार के बराबर के जाकर के खड़े हो जाओगे, ये मैं देशद्रोह मानता हूं। दिस विल बी ट्रेचरस।
This week on Get Me Right, as the Trump 2.0 presidency is unveiled on January 20th, it is already a trade war panning out around the world, from Europe to the Americas, from Asia to the Far East. What are going to be the consequences of the most keenly watched United States presidency in recent times? Also, RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat made what looked like a controversial comment when he said that India became truly independent on the day of Pran Pratishtha of Ram Temple in Ayodhya last year. Let's understand. This week, Saturday and Sunday, your favorite deep dive show only on Republic TV.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hello and welcome. Good evening, friends. And this Sunday edition of This Is Exclusive, we bring to you two very important stories and two very important aspects, exclusive elements on the human trafficking case, which the Kerala police is now investigating post the death of Binil and others, the Kerala youth who were drafted into the Russian army in its war against Ukraine. The human traffickers, the manner in which they dupe these youth by forging documents. We bring to you some very exclusive aspects, as also did Pakistan, a desperate Pakistan, break its own rules to allow the reconstruction and revamping of some of its stadiums, desperate as it is for the money coming in from Champions Trophy. That's our focus. Let's begin with the headlines. Mumbai police arrest Saif Ali Khan's attacker from a construction site in Thane. The main suspect has been identified as Mohammad Shariful Islam Shehzad. He has been sent to 5 days of police custody.
यह आरोपी बांग्लादेशी ओरिजिन का है, ऐसा हमारा
डाउट है। इस केस में एप्रोप्रिएट सेक्शंस की वाड़ की गई है और उस हिसाब से आगे का इन्वेस्टिगेशन किया जा रहा है।
The man who stabbed Saif Ali Khan has been arrested by Mumbai police from Thane. Cops confirmed that the accused attacker was indeed of Bangladeshi origin. Top sources say accused conducted multiple recce's of Saif Ali Khan's house in Bandra, bringing more exclusive news breaks in a short while from now. A massive fire breaks out during Mahakumbh celebrations in Prayagraj. Republic reports from Ground Zero.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी चुनाव की अपनी हार की बौखलाहट से अब अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की जान लेने तक उतर आई।
Claim versus counterclaim. Battle breaks out in Delhi. BJP says Kejriwal's convoy hit two youth party workers. AAP says BJP trying to kill Kejriwal ahead of polls. And after Rahul declares war on nation, and the nation, state FIR filed in Assam for his statement. All right, friends, as I promised, we are bringing to you a breaking news development, a big exclusive on the manner in which the Kerala youth have been duped by making them sign blank papers, stamp papers, and then converting them into their permission for joining the Russian armed forces. There's a big development coming in the Binil case. Remember, Binil Babu died fighting alongside the Russian forces against Ukraine in the theater of war, and essentially, like Binil, many others were carted away by these human traffickers, these scamsters, these scammers who are now under the scanner. 3 have been arrested, but this breaking news development is about, like in the Binil Babu case, so in the case of Sandeep, and this document accessed by Ashwin, our Kerala correspondent, clearly shows that the scale of organized crime that went into sending these youth to Russia. Ashwin is ready with us. Ashwin joins us live. Ashwin, this is damning if true. According to you, the families claim that these documents are forged and that these youth were duped into signing and saying that, okay, fine, for a Russian green card or a Russian visa, they are willing to join the Russian forces and fight with them. Is that true?
Abhishek, it seems like what the family is worried about has now come to the fore. Essentially, the one document that we are showing right now is of Sandeep Chandran, who had died in Russia in August. His body was brought to India in September. After this death, this particular document was sent by these dubious agents to the family. Now, this document which was signed in March, since March, there has been many communication between the families, the agents, with these agents as well. But only after this death, this particular document was released, and the family is certainly suspicious that this was created them out of free hand, get out of free hand.
Bad video. I think case of bad video there. What Ashwin is talking about is a document that he has accessed, and this is given by the families of the duped youth. In this case, this document is of Sandeep Chandran. He, remember, passed away while fighting along with the Russian forces like Binil Babu, and this is not Binil family, this is Sandeep's family, Sandeep Chandran. This is the document of Sandeep Chandran's family, and according to this document, the signatures were taken on a blank paper, and it was subsequently stamped. And this is okay. Ashwin is back with us, so let's connect with Ashwin again. Ashwin, the story we are bringing for our viewers this Sunday is that these youth were duped essentially by these scammers. Kerala police now investigating. What is the latest you can share with us about the investigation in which 3 have been arrested?
Absolutely. In fact, Republic did speak to all the people who had gone to Russia. Some of them had returned, some of the family members. And everybody has a same story to tell. The story is very consistent. Everybody is saying these agents made them sign some blank papers, stamp papers. And when the death of Sandeep happened in August, just few days after this particular document was given to the family was in total shock, because for a pretty long time the family has been communicating with these agents, but they never gave this document. Only after the death, this document was given to the family. So family is suspicious that this has been of Sandeep as well. And it remains consistent because whether it is all the 6 in 2nd and April 6th, 6 Keralites had gone. I have spoken to every single one of them, those who have returned and their family members. Consistent, which certainly adds more questions on the scale at which these human traffickers are operating, the kind of fortress they are building to prevent themselves.
Again, some issue there with Ashwin's video, and we'll try and connect with it. Essentially, the story we have got to you viewers is, as you can see on screen, this is a document which is forged by the human traffickers, in which they have made Sandeep, who passed away, who died fighting for the Russian forces in the month of August. Okay, we in fact have Sandeep's brother on the phone joining us. This is the family which is struggling to get justice for Sandeep Thomas, who was killed in action alongside Russian forces in the month of August. Sunil, I'm told, is joining us. And Sunil, if you're able to hear me, please tell us, how did these traffickers forge this document? How did they keep Sandeep and your family in the dark about what they were up to? I think again some audio issue there. We move on from this and go to the details of the investigation that's going on. Remember, the Kerala police registered an FIR a couple of days back, based on which they have arrested 3 of these human traffickers, including the firm which had sent Binil, and before that Sandeep. Let's look at the details of the investigation so far.
After the Ministry of External Affairs confirmed the death of a Malayali man, Binil Babu, on the front lines of Ukraine-Russia war.
It was a very unfortunate death. We conveyed condolences to the family. Our embassy is in touch with Russian authorities so that his mortal remains could come back to India as soon as possible. Regarding the other gentleman who was injured, he is receiving treatment in a hospital in Moscow. Our embassy is in touch with him and also his in regard to his welfare and well-being with the Russian authorities, and hopefully he will also be returning India soon after his treatment is completed.
3 individuals have been arrested from Thrissur in an India-Russia human trafficking nexus. Sandeep Thomas, Sumesh Antony and CB, all natives of Thrissur, were arrested for allegedly recruiting youths to Russia with promises of high-paying jobs, but instead trafficked them into military service. The accused have been charged under the Immigration Act, human trafficking and cheating. The arrest followed a complaint filed by Binil's wife and Jan TK's father, Korean. Binil and Jan travelled to Russia with the hope of working as electricians and plumbers. However, upon arrival, their Indian passports were confiscated and they were subsequently deployed to the war zones as part of the Russian military support service. Binil lost his life despite several appeals to consulate, while Jan is undergoing medical treatment in Moscow after getting injured in the war. What remains of Binil are now his mortal remains that his family has been requesting and begging the MEA to bring back. The question remains that why did the MEA not react timely on Binal Babu's multiple appeal to repatriate him? Binal Babu is just one of the victims of the rackets luring job aspirants with fake promises. As a deep nexus is uncovered, the exact number of individuals involved in this racket is yet to be determined.
All right, moving on, we'll of course keep a close tab of development there in the investigation. It's both in the national interest and in the interest of the youth of Kerala. But moving on for now, and on to our neighbor to the west, Pakistan, which is so desperate to earn some money out of Champions Trophy that after having got the rights to host it next month, Pakistan, while struggling to spruce up its stadium, broke its own rules, the Pakistan Cricket Board, so that the stadiums could be ready in time for the tournament. Now it seems that even the Ministry of Law of Pakistan, Ministry of Law and Justice, has gotten into it after an inquiry was raised. The Pakistan Cricket Board approved some funds for sprucing up of revamping of the stadium, breaking its own rules. That's the story. And essentially underscoring the desperation with which the Pakistan Cricket Board is approaching this whole issue of hosting Champions Trophy, which it believes is going to bring it some money. Let's have a reporter coming us live. Okay, we are trying to connect with a reporter there on the ground in Islamabad. This is a report attributed to Dawn News, according to which the Pakistan Cricket Board is now facing scrutiny from its Ministry of Law and Justice because it is in breach of approving expenses to the tune of 12 billion rupees, 6 billion Indian rupees, which is about 60 crore rupees. And this is this they did in breach of its own guidelines in terms of how to approve this money. And now it seems an inquiry has been launched. So Pakistan clearly struggling with its Champions Trophy hosting, and now there seems to be some legal tangle also. This is purely internal to them and nothing to do with the ICC. And it is clear that the struggles continue for Pakistan. Earlier we had pictures coming in of despite this breach of rules, the Pakistani Cricket Board was struggling to meet the deadlines. And now we have a reporter from the ground in Islamabad, Rana Mali. Rana Mali is joining us live from Islamabad. Rana, we are getting these reports attributed to Dawn News, which suggests that there is some inquiry. Can you tell us what is this inquiry about PCB breaking its own rules to allow expenses on revamp of stadiums in Pakistan?
Actually, the Pakistani Dawn News has broken this story. According to this news, the Pakistan Cricket Board has violated its own rule. These rules stated that before approving their budgets or money for the renovation of their stadium, they have to get approved from their body, but they have not approved from their governing body. That they have to approve. They have approved directly of 12 billion rupees that they have renovated their works. But Pakistan Cricket Board also sought the opinion from the Ministry of Law that they will completely clear that either they have a right to approve their budget for the renovation without approving their governing body. So now that is the news that was broken by local media, but it's not very connected to the Champions Trophy or ICC rules, because PCB is an independent body, so they have a right to do something like for the preparation of their stadiums. Even Pakistan is ready to host Champions Trophy. People are very happy, and they are very happy to host international teams. Even Pakistani people wanted to see Indian players too on their stadiums, but Indian team not coming in. They have adopted a hybrid model. Instead of adopting this hybrid model, Indian team should come Pakistan. That even when India hosted international events, Pakistan team always came and got good.
Okay, Rana. One more question, Rana. One more question, Rana. That's 12 billion rupees is about 1,200 crores Pakistani rupees, which is about 600 crore Indian rupees. This is a lot of money. You think this inquiry is going to lead to some investigation also? Like, is there a possibility that PCB officials might face music legally?
No, because the Pakistan Cricket Board is an independent entity. They have right, and they have used the dawn broken that they have violated the rules. Not they have did any type of corruption, because they have before approving these budget, they have to approve from a mega committee that the committee will approve that budget, but directly the Pakistan Cricket Board approved this budget. So I don't think that they have faced any kind of these investigation or probe, because PCB has invested all money on these stadiums. We can see that even the renovation work of all stadiums, those hosting a Champions Trophy, has been completed and in final touch. So we can see that all budget have been invested on these stadiums, and it is very clear that they have used. But this matter of approving from one-sided, not from their governing body. So the question is that either they did according to their own constitution of PCB, they have did good things or not. So we are waiting for their response from Ministry of Law and Justice.
Okay,
they have sought opinion from either when they share their opinion, it will be clear that.
All right, Rana. Thank you so much. Thank you so much with those details. Hopefully, the PCB will tide over this crisis also and get to the actual organizing of the game. Champions Trophy happening in Pakistan next month, but Pakistan Cricket Board struggling. Moving on to our big top focus, which is the stabbing attack on Saif Ali Khan amid the probe into the assault on the Bollywood star. A big political face-off erupted after the police said they have reasons to suspect that the arrested accused is a Bangladesh national, which was subsequently confirmed. The BJP has picked up on it and said that the claim over his nationality underlines the need for a crackdown against Bangladeshi intruders across the country. Remember, the BJP has been in a pitched battle with the Aam Aadmi Party over the issue of Bangladeshi infiltrators in Delhi. Let's look at the details of the investigation in Mumbai and the politics panning out over it.
The probe into the stabbing of actor Saif Ali Khan reignited the larger debate around the illegal crossovers of Bangladeshis and concerns around the demographic shift. This after the police said they had reasons to suspect that the accused was a Bangladeshi national who had been sheltered illegally in the country. Amid the suspicion around the nationality of the accused, the BJP said it only underlines the need for an all-out crackdown on illegal Bangladeshi settlers in the country.
मैंने चेहरा देखा और हाव भाव देखा, हमने कोई हिंदुस्तानी की ये करामात नहीं हो सकती। आज सच निकला है कैसे वो बांग्लादेशी घुसकर 2:30 बजे रात में चाकू से वार करता है।
पहले दिन से हम कह रहे हैं कि देश में अवैध बांग्लादेशी, अवैध रोहिंग्या देश की सुरक्षा के लिए और दिल्ली की सुरक्षा के लिए खतरा है। अब जिन बांग्लादेशियों को पालने का काम अरविंद केजरीवाल करते हैं कि सैफ अली खां पे हमला करने वाला जो पकड़ा गया है उससे किस किस के तार जुड़े हैं, अरविंद केजरीवाल खुलासा करें।
The BJP also called for immediate identification and repatriation of all Bangladeshi intruders in Maharashtra.
महाराष्ट्र पुलिस से प्रार्थना करता हूं
कि ये जो यहाँ पर बांग्लादेशी रोहिंग्या महाराष्ट्र में जगह जगह घुस गए हैं, अराजकता फैला रहे हैं, उनको एक एक को पकड़कर वापस बांग्लादेश भेजा जाए।
Meanwhile, in a wheel swipe at Uddhav, Shiv Sena leader Krishna Hegde said Saffron stalwart and founder of the undivided Sena, Bal Thackeray, stood against infiltration of Bangladeshis into the country.
Not only should the accused be punished severely, but also there should be a crackdown on all the illegal Bangladeshis who are staying in our country.
The arrested stabbing accused, who was identified as Mohammad Shariful Islam Shehzad, was remanded to police custody for 5 days. Republic learned from sources that the accused changed his name after crossing into India illegally and took a job at Saif's residence as his housekeeping staff. Significantly, the court made a telling observation after the accused was produced, stating that robbery was not the only motive for the crime. As the probe gathers steam, the leads seem to be pointing to an international plot behind the stabbing incident.
All right, with this we come to the end of this news wheel. Let's record and summarize with Note Assist using Galaxy AI on Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. Delhi Chief Minister Atishi accused the BJP of trying to kill Aam Aadmi Party Chief Arvind Kejriwal. Her statement came amid AAP leaders alleging that stones were pelted at Kejriwal's car on Saturday. The AAP earlier shared a video of the purported attack and alleged that attackers sent by BJP candidate Pravesh Sahib Singh Verma attacked Arvind Kejriwal with bricks and stones, tried to hurt him so that he could not campaign, hitting back. At AAP, the BJP says the youth belong to New Delhi constituency and were protesting against Kejriwal. Right, there you have it, the precise reading of the news in a simpler format using Galaxy AI on Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. We'll be back in a while with headlines on the other side of shot.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university in the recently released Education World Rankings, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked standards in education.